how I use Stack Moxie products is through three areas primarily. One is for monitoring. So we call it real-time monitoring, but how do we monitor that things are working and there aren't issues? So things like our forms firing correctly on our website, are people getting registered and added to a webinar? There's integrations set up in our platforms through Marketo and Go-to Webinar currently, making sure that those are working correctly and alerting us if there's an issue. So that's the first way. The second way is testing. And so when we have new launches or new testing, new programs that we're building out, we use Stack Moxie to test. So an example of that would be, we recently migrated some forms that were on a legacy platform over to Marketo, and we had about 100 forms and pages that we had to migrate. And so we used, rather than fill out the form one by one every time we made that update with different variations, we were able to make all of the changes on the CMS side of things and do testing very quickly. And then through Stack Moxie, it would tell us if there was an issue or not. And of the 100 forms and pages that we launched, I think we found 3 issues. So what we would have done before is either manually test a few and say, all right, looks, everything's good, we're good. And then we wouldn't have known that those 3 pages had issues until probably weeks or months later, when somehow someone alerted us, or somebody would have manually tested every single page, taken hours to do, and we were able to do that in a matter of a few minutes, really. And then the third way is before launching new iterations of things. So if we want to launch a new campaign, if we want to launch a new webinar program, if we want to launch anything new, we can use Stack Moxie to test that everything proactively is working. So the real-time monitoring catches things when an issue happens, but what we've really started to move towards is be proactive and try to catch it before an issue could happen. So if it passes that initial test when we're about to launch, we can say, yes, this works, this is functioning as we would expect. And so the likelihood of an error is much less likely versus if we just launch and then let the system tell us when there's an issue. It's important, but we want to try to get in front of that.